Hey, good evening. It's Monday, and this is January 29th, or I'm sorry, January 30th. And this is your Master Pattern Report. Dr. Bob Flower reporting from finally sunny Arizona. Okay, so we got some things to talk about this evening. Um, let's talk about some politics first. Okay. Um, The Mideast, it appears, is in secret talks to replace the United States as the oil currency. Um, and not too surprisingly, the main players are Russia, China, and our good old friend, everybody's friend, France. Um, these these discussions have been going on for a while now, almost a year, and they've tried to solicit the or at least put in line the smaller, lesser countries such as Brazil and Venezuela and some of the smaller antagonistic oil-producing countries. Um, and it's doubtful whether they're going to have much success at this point anyway. But we don't know what's coming up for the United States economy. And given the fact that perhaps the world is going to go down along with us, or they'll go down first and then we'll follow, it's doubtful that that's going to happen in the near future. But what's really happening here is that leaders are overwhelmed. They're trying to manipulate, of course, and they're trying to save at the same time. But they're finding out that they don't have the control over their societies that they thought that they could have. Their adherence to breaking their own rules is now falling upon populations vis-a-vis the Arab Spring. And of course, when you look at the hardships and the rebellion that's going on in Greece, Greek society, and even Italy is starting in now, and certainly in Hungary. Um, it's apparent that what they want and what the population want are two different things. Um, uh, so overwhelmed, I think, is an understatement. And by the way, talking about being overwhelmed, it seems like our good president is really being pushed to the limits by his good friends. We talked to you about what the Oracle of Omaha, Mr. Buffett, was doing with that Keystone Pipeline and his train contracts, his rail contracts. But now it comes to light that his latest push toward natural gas, which is right in there. I mean, that's it's something that so many people can relate to and is positive. It really is. It really is. I'm being serious here. Well, and everybody would say, well, why didn't he do it before? Well, here's the reason why. Um, Mr. Saros was not ready. He is now ready. His company, uh, the Westport Company, is a major player in natural gas. So now that George is ready, now the president's ready to go ahead. And that's the way the game plays. Okay, and while we're at that, who owns this new light bulb company? That I mean, where am I that now the government is telling me what kind of light bulbs I can have in my home? I mean, the lights just went on for me with that thing. I mean, I knew that there was an issue here, but that we have to do this, and this thing is these lights are more dangerous than any other lights, and they're a hell of a lot more expensive, and they don't work uh, effectively. Wonderful. We're really doing good, guys. I'm so glad we have the government to protect us. And talking about our esteemed president, the transparent one, the great one, um, it appears that he's holding off laying off 250,000 postal workers. He's trying to play the system. What a blow that would be to his economic status, and also to the unemployment. Can you imagine that? So 250,000 there, another 100,000 in the armed forces. Pretty soon we'll be back above 10% before you know it. Okay, so let's take a look at the economy now, huh? Greek bonds. It's said that Angela Merkel and others are requesting a 70% haircut. That means that bondholders are going to be taking a 70% cut. You put up $1,000, you get back 300. Not a bad deal, huh? And while we're talking about the bonds, Portuguese bonds today, we're up over 17%. A nice yield. So if any of you are looking for high yield investments, Portuguese bonds, if you don't mind the risk and taking maybe a 70% haircut, 17%. In the meantime, Fitch downgraded Belgium, Slovakia, Italy, Spain, and some other country which I escaped me, but it just appears it just keeps on getting worse and worse, and just a signal for all the players to get their ducks in order, so that when things go, which they are going in that direction, everybody's set. All right. And along with that, we have a little baby bankruptcy in the solar energy field, Ener1. It was only 118 million of government money that they lost on that bankruptcy. It's little babies. Okay, and in addition to that, our World Economic Council is wrapping up over in Basel, Switzerland, and our leaders, it is said, are hard at work trying to find a, quote, replacement for capitalism. Now, I don't think replacement is the right word. That's not what they're looking to do. They're not going to replace capitalism. What they're trying to do is augment it. By virtue of some sort of greater control over economies and nations, a unilateral control, you see. It'll be a world organization dominating everything, so everything is fair and right, and everybody gets their just due, and we have this total power, so that you can't go anywhere. Everything's going to be the same no matter where you go. And that happens to be where we're at, folks, whether you recognize it or not. That's why I've been trying to tell you for the past 4 years we've been doing this show that it was very apparent to me that there wasn't a place to go. Everything is the same. The rules are the same. They've got us tightened. They've got us so bound up that we can't go anywhere. But we're gonna prevail in this. We're gonna prevail. I'm telling you, because they are overwhelmed and they can't control the human spirit on that level. Okay. The United States, Americans, will pull this out, but it's going to be the American people, guys like you. We're going to do it. So let's talk a little bit about predictions, shall we? Last week, we hit on silver on Wednesday and the up call, and this this pattern is in flux here, folks. If you don't know it, I'm telling you. And I'm going to, well, let's talk about it right now. What you're going to see is you're going to see it rise a little bit more here, and then drop off, and the point at which it's going to drop, I'm not sure, but if it goes, it does look like the pattern that's existing is if it breaks through that 3220 level, 3230 level, which it did blow through to some degree. Then it's back down to that 27, 28, maybe even 25 level in the next couple of weeks. So let's see what that looks like. Okay. And last week, our Tuesday call on the Dow Jones, it rose, I don't know what it was, 115 points, 118 points, but then ended up dead flat. So these patterns are not, they don't have that fire yet. You know, it looks like it's something that's building, but it's not there. Even though the Dow has been moving up pretty steady, and may make a run here. We talked about that. For the next maybe 4 or 5 weeks, it may make a good run up, and the ultimate number, as far as I'm concerned, is 1407 on the S&P. Before we see a withdrawal here. Now, I want to talk to you I want to talk to you a little bit about this coming week, because a couple of months ago I talked to you about a February 5th big movement, and let me just tell you what the patterns are showing right now. From 2/4, that's this Saturday, through February 7th, there are some major patterns hitting us. Concerning the Dow, on the 4th, which is a Saturday, but the pattern is showing a 71% up move. Okay, so that may be Friday or Monday. The 5th, which is Sunday, is showing a 75% down move. So if it moves up on Friday, you know you're going to see something. You're going to see a reversal on Monday. Okay, and the 7th, there's an equally strong pattern moving in on the Dow, which is showing a 75% down move. So between the 5th, the move on the 5th, and the pattern on the 7th, those coming so close together, and they're coming off different pattern highs and lows in the past, and they're culminating at this point. It should be a pretty significant move, and we're looking at a down move here, and we're saying 75%. Now, if you are a player, play your straddles, because it could turn out to go the other way. So that's what we did with silver, and while we were short silver, we ended up, we had to close out our short position and just try and get even with our long. But we're getting ready to go back, put part of our straddle back on again in silver. But again, it looks like we're going to see a major move, or at least a significant move, this anywhere between Friday and next Tuesday. Okay, and so far as silver, we see another major pattern hitting on Tuesday the 7th, and there's a very good chance this pattern has not failed us yet, folks. This pattern, every time we've seen this and we've called it, it's reacted as we've had a major reaction, and it's gone the way we said. Okay, so I'm saying here that although it's happened every time, I'm going to give it an 83% viability that there's going to be a silver move on the 7th, and it's going to be a down move. Okay. My sense is that coupled with the other three moves, with the other three patterns that we're looking at, there's something significant going on here, and it may well be that Greek negotiations. Who knows? I mean, you know, it, it, and it's not manipulation. The pattern, master pattern, uh, predates a manipulative thought. So they follow the pattern. It's not that the pattern follows the manipulation or the moves here. But whatever it is, it looks like it's going to be significant. So hold on to your hat. Um, we want to end this session by saying that we're going to try and do another show next Monday in the midst of all this, and perhaps we can have some more clarity for you. But I tell you this one thing: don't ever belittle or deny the American spirit. The people of America will prevail if we fight, if we don't give up, and we hang in there. See you next week, folks.